misunderstood verses also of Bhagavad Gita. Second chapter, 47th verse on Karma Yoga. And this famous verse has been immortalized by B.R. Chopra's Mahabharata. You might have come across the famous title song, Karmanneva Dikaraste Ma Phaleshu Kadachana Ma Karma Phalahe Turbur Mate Sangostva Karmani. You come across that. So this is that famous verse, Karmanneva Dikaraste Ma Phaleshu Kadachana Ma Karma Phalahe Turbur Mate Sangostva Karmani. Normally, you come across people sometimes they quote only one half of sayings. For example, you might have come across this famous saying in English, experience is the best teacher. That's just one half. The second half of the saying goes, experience is the best teacher because fools learn no other way. And the second half is very important. So same way, as far as this Bhagavad Gita verse is concerned, usually people don't even quote half of this verse. They quote only 1/4 of this verse, which is the first one. Karmane vadikaraste. Do your duty. Do your duty. Krishna actually said 3 more instructions in the same verse. Actually, Krishna says 4 instructions in total in this verse, 1 in each line. And today we are going to go through each one of them. So the first line, you might have come across many times. You ask people, have you read Bhagavad Gita? Usually hear a response, yeah, I know Bhagavad Gita. Okay, tell me what you learned from Bhagavad Gita. Then they would say, do your duty. The $1 million question we have to ask them is, if do your duty is the instruction which Krishna gave, and if that is the only instruction Krishna gave, then what are the other 3 lines doing in the same verse? The second thing you have to also ask is, this is verse 2.47, second chapter, 47th verse, and second chapter is only the summary of entire Gita. If this is the ultimate instruction, then why did Krishna waste another 16 chapters? The whole Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters in all. So, goes to show that this is not the ultimate instruction Krishna gives, first of all. And secondly, do your duty. That's not the essence of Bhagavad Gita either. There is much more to it. Even if we take only from Karma Yoga perspective. But Krishna just starts with Karma Yoga in this chapter. But then you will see, 3rd chapter Krishna elaborates on Karma Yoga. Then Krishna speaks on Jnana Yoga. Then Krishna speaks on Ashtanga Yoga, which is also known as Dhyana Yoga or Hatha Yoga in 6th chapter. Then Krishna dedicates another 6 chapters for describing Bhakti Yoga, explaining, going in detail. And then Krishna speaks on Jnana, and then finally Krishna gives a conclusion on the 18th chapter, establishing the supremacy of Bhakti Yoga. There is so much more. This is just the trailer, not even the trailer of the movie. This is just the teaser, so to speak. Okay, so Karmanye Vadikaraste, you have the right to perform your duty. Now, usually when people say you have the right to do your duty or just to do your duty, it's not really appealing to us. Generally, why do you think people go and buy lotto tickets? Because they don't need to do work. Somehow you buy a ticket and somehow you become the winner. You win $50 million and you don't need to work. Or if you ask a student, why are you studying? Oh, I want to get a degree, earn big. Or you ask a cricket player, why are you practicing? I want to become the most skilled player so that, for what? For doing social service? No, so that I can earn more money, get more endorsements, get a good IPL deal, so on and so forth. So everyone in this world, if you see, they do any activity for results only. To them, if you just tell only 1/4 of the verse, which is not fully the instruction of what Krishna says, it will not only confuse them, it will put them off. They'll think this doesn't connect with me. Why? Because I want to actually get results. Results is what that motivates me. In fact, I want to do less work and get more results. This is where we are. Okay, let's just be honest with ourselves. So does that mean this verse which Bhagavad Gita which Krishna spoke is irrelevant to us? No. As I said, there is a famous saying by a Chinese philosopher Confucius. He says that a little learning is a dangerous thing. So this is only the beginning where Krishna says, do your duty, or you have adhikara. Karmani eva adhikaraste. Adhikara means right or your qualification. So your qualification is to only do your duty. Remember, this is only 1/4 of the verse, not even 1/2 of the verse. It's only 1/4. There is another 3/4 left. Let me go through the translation first line by line, and then we'll go a bit more detail on each one of these verses in the next half an hour. So first one, karmani eva adhikaraste, meaning is you have the right to perform only your duty. That's what first line means. Ma phaleshu kadachana. Phala means fruit. Ma phaleshu kadachana means you are not entitled the fruits of the actions that you perform according to the first line. First line, Krishna says you have the right to perform your duty. And in second line, Krishna says, Ma phaleshu kadachana. You are not entitled the fruits of the action which you performed. Now the third line is, Ma karma phala heturbur. Now somebody may think, okay, Krishna is saying, I have to do my duty. I'm not entitled to the results of that action that comes from that, or the results of that action which I perform as my duty. Then some may think, okay, at least let me enjoy mentally. Sometimes we may not get a result directly, but at least even if somebody glorifies, let's say you cook nice prasad, nobody is going to pay you, but somebody may actually glorify you in public, such and such person, or you build something nice, you are doing it as a social service for the community, and somebody may actually say, you did such a wonderful construction. They may not paying you, but even to glorify you, it makes you feel happy, correct? So even if somebody actually says something nice, crediting us, that's the word, giving us the credit, that makes us feel happy. Krishna is saying, Ma karma phala heturbur. You cannot even enjoy that credit. That's what it means. Hetu means costs. So Krishna is saying, don't think that you are the cause of the action that brought that result. First thing Krishna says, do your duty. Second thing Krishna says is, you are not entitled to enjoy the fruits of the action. Third thing Krishna says is, now because you are not entitled to the fruit of action, that doesn't mean that you can at least take the credit. Okay, I may not enjoy, but I did it. That feeling is there. Krishna is saying, you are not even entitled for that also. Then if somebody thinks, I have to do my duty, I cannot enjoy the results, I can't even take credit, then I'm not going to do whatever action. What's the point in doing everything? If somebody says, Krishna is saying, Mate sango asti akarmani, you can't even do that also. So Krishna covers everything. Fourth line Krishna says is, if somebody says, I have to do my duty, I have to do my work, I can't enjoy, I can't even take credit, I'm not going to do any action. Krishna is saying, no, that doesn't work like that. You are born in this material world, so you have to do, which means Mate sango astu akarmani, which means don't be attached to not doing the duty just because you are not getting the result. Now what does it mean? This is what Krishna says in these 4 verses, 4 lines of this verse rather. I'll tell you the translation again. You have the right to perform your duty. You are not entitled the fruits of that duty. You cannot take credit for that duty. Just because you can't enjoy the fruits nor take the credit doesn't mean you can be inactive. That is not possible also. That's what Krishna says in 4th line. Now why is Krishna saying this? Is Krishna the hard task master? And we are like his slaves. Krishna says we have to work and only I will enjoy, none of you can enjoy. No, that's not the point. Let's be realistic here. If I ask you, first thing, if I ask you since morning, yesterday night for example, Saturday night you might have thought, okay, I'll do such and such thing before going and attending this satsanga. If I ask you since morning, how many of the items which you had as part of the plan went as per the plan? 80% of the times, 90% of the time, 50% of the time. Morning you might have set the alarm, I'll wake up at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. You would have woken up at 7. Starting itself is a big problem. Then you might have thought, okay, I will actually then go take bath, get ready, and I'll actually cook breakfast by 8 o'clock. It gets delayed to 9 o'clock. Then you think, all right, I'll actually go to the market to purchase something. You go to the market, either you forgot your credit card or your mobile phone, or the item you went to purchase in the market isn't there. And then you thought, no, I'll at least go to satsanga on time, and you end up actually coming late as you are just walking in maybe now. Nothing goes as planned. If you take a whole day, how many times do we have things going our way versus how many times do things go against our plan? More than 90 to 95% of the times for normal human beings like us, unless somebody is extremely organized, okay, close to being like a robot, 90 to 95% of the times, things won't go our way. So if you think, when Krishna says, don't think yourself to be the cause, it is actually a big relief. we can actually put the blame on someone. Joking. We don't need to actually enjoy. So when Krishna says, don't think yourself to be the fruit of actions. For example, let us say you and your friend carry something heavy made of glass, some big glass article, and you walk into the room. And your friend somehow trips, drops his or her side of that article. So you are holding one side, he drops, so it goes to the ground, everything gets smashed. If somebody walks into the room, you both are now the culprits, right? Because you have broken it. But somebody else walks in the room and they look at your friend, look at you, and if they tell you, I know it was not your mistake, you know how relieving it will be? So giving up, here you are giving up the fruits of action. Fruits of action here is, action is to drop and breaking something. But if somebody walks in and tells us, you are not the cause of this, it is actually a big relief for us. In our real-time experience, in our life, when 95% of the times when things don't go your way, maybe 99%, maybe 100% of the times when things don't go our way, and when Krishna says, do not think yourself to be the cause, we feel happy. It is actually a big relief. We can feel clearly that, yes, I tried my best. Beyond this, there is something else that is controlling these actions. Prabhupada gives this beautiful example. Sometimes you will see little kids, they walk and they try to actually put a letter on the post box. And because the post box is very high, the kids can't. The kid is trying to reach, but the father or mother would actually pick the kid up. Suddenly the kid will be going above the ground and the kid would reach out to the post box hole and it will drop in the chute. And the kid will be very happy. Yes, I did it. But actually the kid alone didn't do. Kid did its job, but the parents did the rest of the job. So when Krishna says, you are not the cause, it simply means you are not the only cause. Let's take a step back. First, Krishna says, Karmanyeva adhikaraste. You have the right to do your duty. Then Krishna says three things we should not actually be attached to. Let's take one step at a time. First, Krishna is saying is, Ma phaleshu kadachana. Why ma phaleshu kadachana? As I said, 99% of the times, 95% of the times, okay, give and take, 80% of the times, when we do things, things don't go our way. We don't get the desired result. Now, when Krishna says, don't worry about the result, because there is something more than the result. What does it mean, something more than the result? Generally, when we do any action, there are some results that come on a more physical level. For example, if I cook a nice food, a nice dish, I eat. One benefit of eating is, the fruit of that action of cooking is, my hunger gets quenched. Okay, my hunger is satisfied. There is another deeper level of result also that comes. I may serve it to my family member or my friend. They would eat and they'll be satisfied. In fact, my relationship with them will go more deeper. That's the second level of result. There is another third level of result also comes, which is, as I cook more, my cooking skills will also improve. Understand? So whatever action that we do, if somebody, even cooking, they won't even think of all this. They think, how is the result? Nice? Okay, I'm satisfied. How is the result? Bad? Oh, I'm dissatisfied. When more than 90% of the times, when you don't get the desired output, and when Krishna says, don't worry, you are not the cause of the result. You are not entitled to the result. You are not entitled to enjoying the fruits of the action. It is actually a big liberating statement. Because Krishna knows we live in a place, and this place is known as Dukkalayam Ashashvatam. Dukkalayam means there are more ways to actually give us pain than pleasure in this material world. Anything. You cannot make plan to do anything permanently in this world. Impossible. You take this body will keep growing old. You cannot actually say to the body, no, keep stopping. Time will actually roll by. You get cultural shock, reverse cultural shock. The time when I came to Australia 20 years ago to what I see now, when I look back in India, if you see the change in culture, it's scary many times. You look at even locally here, it's scary sometimes. Whether you feel scared or you get adapted to that situation and move on, that's what's going to actually define how much you can actually really go with the flow. You can't actually be left behind. So you have to go with the flow. Time and tide waits for none, as they say. Time will actually change everything. Time will bring an end to everything, including this body, our relationship, our bank balance, everything. It will actually end at one point. So in this material world, Krishna says, given that you are in a place where nothing is permanent, everything is temporary. Ashashwatam. Shashwat means permanent. Ashashwatam means temporary, not permanent. That's what it means. Dukkhalayam ashashwatam. Two attributes Krishna gives for this material world. One is, this world is created to give us pain. And that pain Krishna gives, there are three different types of pain that one can actually experience. Have you come across this famous Trishul of Durga Devi? It goes like this. Then there is a sharp mid portion and there is a side portion also. Okay, so it goes, this is like Trishul. So this Trishul of Durga Devi, which she holds, it signifies something very, very deep, very profound, and it's given in the scriptures why she could have actually used in a single-headed spear or five-headed spear. Why three-headed spear? And the reason is this Trishul actually represents, first thing, Adi Atmik Klesha, the difficulties or the pain which is caused by ourselves, like mental pain. You know, we always worry about what will happen tomorrow. Have you got this experience? You worry about exam, you worry about some mortgage, you worry about increasing, interest rates, and you worry about losing job, and you worry, you go through so much pain. Sometimes you go through stress, you go through depression, and then time rolls by and you realize, it was a false alarm. Actually, you know what? I actually got promotion, or I didn't lose. You know what? I passed in my exam. You know what? Interest rate didn't go up. Understand? So this is known as Adi Atmik Klesha, self-inflicted pain. Understand? Because we are living in a position, in a world where there are a lot of uncertainties. Something happened in one corner, rest of the world is actually suffering. So this kind of pain, which is self-inflicted, which means nobody else has to come and cause us pain. We ourselves will cause pain. This is known as Adi Atmik Klesha. In Shastras, it is given, there are certain category of people who should never be punished even if they do a grave sin. Women should never be punished, it's given. Kids should never be punished even if they do a grave sin. Brahmanas should never be punished. Old men should never be punished. Surprise, surprise, mad people, it's given, they should never be punished for the same reason. Why? Because mad people, they are already killing themselves with Adi Atmik Klesha. They go through, they imagine so many things and they are inflicting pain. Already they are punishing themselves. What's the point in punishing them again? So Shastras give them immunity. Even mad people shouldn't be punished. Okay, so first type of pain is known as Adi Atmik Klesha. It's the self-inflicted pain, imagined pain, mental pain. Second type of pain is known as Adi Daivik. Adi Daivik means those pain or anxiety or stress or distress that's been caused by different demigods. Like, suddenly you get a storm, you get earthquake, you get bushfire, you get tsunami, everything, drought, famine. Each one of them, they are all caused by different demigods, different devatas. This is known as Adi Daivik Klesha. In other words, those type of distresses or difficulties that are caused by demigods. Adi Atmik, Adi Daivik. Third one is known as Adi Bhautik Klesha. Mosquito coming and biting you. Adi Bhautik means, Bhautika means other living entities. A mosquito will come and bite. Snake would come and bite. You may be allergic to, cigarette smoke, but somebody may actually smoke in a place, polluting the place, and you go there and you'll be, this is a pain that's caused by other living entity. Understand? So these are the three different types of difficulties which every living entity goes through. You may think it's only for humans. No. Have you come across a dog? A dog would be sitting, sleeping. Somebody else comes, wow, it's getting disturbed already. Somebody else is already disturbing. Like that. Understand? So this pain is equal for everyone. You can be a demigod at the top. You may think, wow, how nice it will be if I'm Indra. No. Hiranyakashipu will chase you. Demons will chase you. Indra may not have mortgage problem, but he has another type of problem. Indra may lust after someone. He has Adi Atmik Klesha also. Okay, lust, anger, greed, they are all self-inflicted pain on oneself. Understand? This is why Durga Devi is rising. And Shastras say that if we surrender to Krishna, Krishna himself says this in Bhagavad Gita. In 7th chapter, Krishna says, Daiviyesha gunamayi mama maya duradhyaya mam evaye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. Which means, Krishna says, this Maya Devi or Durga Devi, this is my energy. Mama Maya, Krishna is saying. Mama means mine. Now we can't say Mama Maya. Krishna's Maya, so Krishna is saying, Daiviyesha gunamayi mama maya duradhyaya. Duradhyaya means, this Maya Devi who is having Trishul, she will keep on pricking us with this. These three different types of pain. Adhyatmik, Adidaivik, Adibhautik. Self-inflicted pain, pain caused by demigods, pain caused by other living entities. Other living entities also means, somebody may break up relationship and they go, causing pain, Adibhautik Lesha. Any difficulties you have in this world, you can put in one of these three buckets. That's a good exercise for you. You can do rest of the week. You think what difficulty you have. Next time you have a difficulty, you think, did I cause this? Did other living entities or other human, other bird, other reptile cause this? Or did any demigod cause this? Did nature cause this? That's the three categories. So Krishna is saying, this Durga Devi, she is actually wielding Trishul. She will always keep pricking. Because this world is like a prison house. That's why Krishna says, Dukkha Alayam. Alayam means usually place. Alayam, Daivalayam means place where God is worshipped. Dukkha Alayam means you should understand. Dukkha means what? Pain. Sadness, lamentation. Alayam means this is a place where people worry, people lament, people go through pain. That's the description Krishna gives to this material world, the world that we live in. Dukkhalayam, first quality he says, second is Ashashwatam. Shashwat means permanent. Ashashwatam means temporary. You can do so many arrangements. Time will come and break. Everything time will come and swallow. Nothing we can stop. As I said, our body will grow old. Even there may be, thick friends on thick relationship. At some point, time will actually come, take away one. One person will die. Or sometimes you'll come across, no, they were united in death. Maybe two people die at the same time. Natural death also. Still, it's separated. There's no guarantee where the soul from one body is going to go and the one from the other body is going to go. Nothing is in our control. So Krishna says, Daiviyesha gunamayi mama maya duradhyaya. To overcome Maya Devi is very difficult because she's always going to prick. Terms and conditions apply. Third line Krishna says, Mameva ye prapadyante. Prapadya means, prapanna means to surrender to Krishna. If one surrenders to Krishna, Mameva ye prapadyante, Maya metam tarantite. Krishna says, however, normally Durga Devi will keep on pricking you, but Mam eva ye prapadyante. If one surrenders to me, then Durga Devi will let you free. You can go beyond Durga Devi. That's what it means. I'll tell you one story in Mahabharata. So, in Pandavas, after they downed Bhishma Dev on the bed of arrows, the general or the head of Kaurava's army was Dronacharya. Dronacharya was the teacher of both Pandavas and Kauravas. Nobody knew. Dronacharya was a semi-celestial being. He got access to lot of Divyastras, which he was using against the mere mortals. So when he was using against them, nobody could stand. Nobody could withstand his onslaught. And at one point, Pandavas were puzzled. So they were worried, what can we do to now check Dronacharya because he is wreaking havoc. So they go to Krishna and Krishna tells them, look, he is very attached to his son. We need to do something to make him lose interest in fighting the battle. Somehow if that happens, then he will drop the weapons, then it's easy to kill him. So then Bhimasena, he then goes, there is an elephant by name Ashwatthama, he hits with his club and the elephant dies. So they go and they shout, especially Bhimasena, he goes and shouts in front of Dronacharya that I have killed Ashwatthama, I have killed Ashwatthama, or Ashwatthama is dead, Ashwatthama is dead, like that. Dronacharya, he knew all too well that Bhimasena can actually play some tricks. So he drives his chariot close to Yudhishthir Maharaj and he asks him, Ashwatthama, is he killed? Then Yudhishthir Maharaj says, Ashwatthama, the elephant, died, like that he says. So when Dronacharya hears Ashwatthama, he didn't hear the word elephant because he says elephant in a very, very subtle tone. So that Yudhishthir Maharaj, he feels, I don't want to tell the lie. So he says, Ashwatthama, the elephant, died. Like that he says. So then when Dronacharya hears this, he hears only these two words, which is Ashwatthama and died loud. So he thinks like, what's the point? My son is dead. Why should I actually fight the war now? So he goes there, drops the weapon. Meanwhile, Drishtadyumna, who's a brother, twin brother of Draupadi. So he comes and then he kills Dronacharya. So when Dronacharya is killed, all the Kaurava army, they get scattered. They run away in fear because they realize Dronacharya himself is killed. Where do we stand? What are we? Anything in front of Pandavas. So they were starting to run away. When Ashwatthama, who was fighting in the other corner in Kurukshetra, when he hears that his father was killed and when he sees his army fleeing away in fear, he rallies them again. He tells them, don't worry, I want to seek vengeance for the unfair killing of my father. All of you come with me. I have a weapon, Narayanastra, and there is no match for it. Normally we hear Brahmastra, there is no match. Here Ashwatthama had access to Narayanastra, which is also one of the Divyastra. He says, I will hurl this towards the Pandavas. There is no match for this weapon because this is the weapon fashioned by the Supreme Lord himself. So there is no match for this. So Ashwatthama, when he says that, all the Kaurava army, they feel rejuvenated. With renewed vigor, they come towards Pandavas, ready to attack them. And Ashwatthama releases Narayanastra. When Narayanastra comes towards the Pandavas, it is actually spitting fire. The effulgence of this weapon, nobody could actually withstand. So now Pandavas, feeling fearful, they look at Krishna and they tell to Krishna, Krishna, this is coming to us. We are sure dead and gone now. It's going to swallow all of us. Krishna says, don't worry about this. This weapon, I know one secret about it. Of course, Krishna himself is Supreme Lord. So Krishna tells to the Pandavas, I know one secret about this. This weapon, if anyone surrenders to it, it will bless. It will go away. If anyone tries to attack it, then it will attack them back. So when Krishna says that, then all the Pandavas, they immediately bow down. When they bow down, the Narayanastra comes, blesses them, and then it goes away. So you will find examples like this in stories in Mahabharata, even Ramayana, everywhere, where something which is totally unconquerable becomes conquerable as soon as one surrenders to the Supreme Lord. So here the weapon of the Lord is also same as the Lord. As soon as even Pandavas bow down to the weapon makes a U-turn and it goes away. And then Ashwatthama gets defeated that way. So Krishna here he says, but one who surrenders to me, Maam eva ye prapadyante, Mayam etam tarantite. If you surrender to me, Durga Devi will not prick you anymore because Durga Devi knows that you are under my control. You are under my protection rather. So then Durga Devi will go elsewhere. So in this material world, because there is lot of difficulties, because more than 90% of the times or 99% of the times, we can't get things work our way. Krishna is saying, don't worry, you are not the cause. You didn't cause this result. Okay, so when Krishna says that, you are entitled only to do work, which means you go as a student, you go to study. Getting marks, generally people think is the goal of studying. No, the purpose of studying is to learn something. Okay, you go to college, you go to school, you sit and attend the class, they teach you something, you learn something, you acquire knowledge. That's the purpose of studying. Now, there are byproducts of that. A byproduct of that learning, byproduct of that wisdom is, later on your knowledge may be tested. It's only testing the learning which you, or the skills that you accrued based on your studying, based on attending classes. But people usually what they tend to do is, they will mug up everything and they'll go write it in exam and they think, yes, I have actually scored marks, which means I'm a great student. That's not how it works. Krishna is against it. That's what Krishna is saying in here. You have the right to do your duty, which means if you are a student, go attend the class. Don't think you are the cause or you are not entitled to the fruits of the action, which means what marks come, it's not in your hand. That doesn't mean Krishna say, don't worry about the result completely. That's not what Krishna means. Okay, listen to this carefully. Krishna says, do your duty. If you are a student, you go attend the class. When you attend the class properly, don't try to enjoy the results, which means don't worry about the marks. Now I'm sitting in the class, I don't have to enjoy the marks, or I shouldn't be enjoying what fruits that come out of this. which means I'm sitting here, I need to do something, right? So Krishna says, if you are sitting in the class, learn the knowledge, learn the skills. Learning is the purpose of education, not scoring marks. But if you learn properly, naturally you will score marks nicely. But if your motive is only to score marks, you lose inspiration in even attending the class. Have you come across people who usually bunk the classes thinking, this one I'll anyway mug it up and I'll score marks? You lose the purpose of education. Understand, this is why Krishna says, do your duty, which is you attend the class. And then don't worry about the results, which means focus on your learning. Now, if you do this learning properly, naturally you will score good marks. You don't need to make any extra effort for that. Now, despite your good learning, despite you performing well in the exam, if the results don't go 100% your way, do not consider yourself to be the cause of that action. That doesn't mean the results are not dependent on our action at all. What it means is the results are dependent not only on our action, which means there are other personalities involved in getting the result. If you take cricketers, sometimes they'll go play against the same opposition in the same ground with the same set of players. One match they'll score century, another match they'll get out golden duck. And sometimes there'll be a series of golden ducks. And the cricketers will be puzzled. What is happening? It's the same bat. I'm the same person. I didn't forget my skills. It's the same bowler. I have played against this person so many times. I have whacked 6 sixes against this bowler in an over in last match. How is it I can't play anything? Normally we hear this word, loss of form. This loss of form means something which is beyond one's control. Because if it's within one's control, easily they'll fix it. No cricketer would want to be a failure, correct? Even if they have to beg, borrow, steal, they'll do something, they will still regain the form. But it's not that easy. Which means what we call as loss of form is the factors which are beyond human control. That's what it means. Same way, you can prepare for exam, but when you go and sit in the exam, what questions come beyond your control? How you will write beyond your control. Everything is beyond our control. So Krishna says, do not consider yourself ma karma phala hetu. Hetu means cause. Do not think yourself to be the cause means you are not the only person. We can discuss about it in one other class later. The question that will come is, if I'm not the only cause, who are the different causes? Good question. Krishna answers that also in another verse. We'll come to that later. Later means not today, some other session. So Krishna gives a detailed description on this particular point also. We are not the only cause, but there are many more factors that are determining the result of any activity that I actually do. Understand? So this is why Krishna says, Ma phaleshu kadachana. Don't think about external material result only, because the whole process of education is to make you learn something, learn some skill. Same thing applies even for your job also. You may not be a student, you may be working. So if you are going there, you have a honest 8-hour day in your shift. You will get, sometimes you may get promotion, sometimes you may get applause, sometimes you may get credit, sometimes you may not. Doesn't matter. You do your duty, your salary will anyway come. And you move on. You don't need to sit there and worry, stress about that. Why didn't I get the promotion? My colleague got the promotion. Even though I am more skilled, I was more hardworking, I performed well. Looks like, everyone is ganging up against me. You don't need to do, again, adhyatmik klesha. We don't need to do that. So Krishna is saying, do your duty. Karma nevadikaraste. Ma phaleshu kadachana. Don't worry about enjoying results. Yeah, results are not entitled for you, because why is not Krishna saying don't try to actually enjoy the results? Because third line is, you are not the only one who got this result, or rather you are not the only reason to get this result. There are other personalities and other factors also who contributed towards this. Understand? That means I can't go, let's say I'm going and cooking food now. 5 people come and help me. So I cooked. At the end, I say okay, some nice, I can actually smell the fragrance of the cooking, and I'm thinking wow, I'm going to enjoy the whole bowl. And then I start kicking everyone else out. No, you go. I'm only going to enjoy. That's unfair, correct? So Krishna, same way he says, because you are not the only cause, there are other people involved. Krishna says, calm down. Don't try to enjoy the result because you are not the only cause. Now somebody may say, I can't enjoy even whatever work I am doing, I'm not getting the full credit. Why should I even work? That's why Krishna adds the last line, Mate Sangvasta Karmani, which means Krishna says, if you think I'll go inactive, I'll just sit. In this example, let's say, why should I go to cooking? I'm anyway not going to get the credit. I can't enjoy anyway fully. It looks like I have to share the results with another 4 more people. Why should I even cook? If somebody thinks like that, Krishna's point is, fair enough, but you are at loss. You will still have hunger now. Point number 1. Point number 2, you can't sit idle anyway. Idle mind is devil's workshop. Should I cook? Or maybe I should have gone. You will only stress out. So Krishna says, instead, go, do your duty, and then whatever results come your way, be happy with that. Don't keep results alone as the motive because you are not the only cause. So this is the full understanding of this particular verse. I'll go through the translation again. Karmanyavadikaraste. You have the right to perform only your duty. Ma phaleshu kadachana. You are not entitled to enjoying the results of your action. Ma karma phala heturbur. Do not consider yourself to be the cause of the action or cause of the results that comes out of the action. Mate sangvasta akarmani. Do not be attached to not doing your duty. So that's what Krishna says in this particular verse, and this is the verse where Krishna speaks about Karma Yoga. But as I said, this verse is actually spoken in the 2nd chapter, 47th verse. 2nd chapter itself, 2nd chapter is also one of the biggest chapters. There are many more verses in 2nd chapter also. There is many more chapters in entire Bhagavad Gita also. So this is not the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. Now if you ask, then what is the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita? You go to 18th chapter, 66th verse. There Krishna says about conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. Sarvadharman paritejya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papepyo mokshayishyami masuchaha. Krishna says that after giving entire Gita to Arjuna and to entire humanity, Krishna says Sarvadharman paritejya. Krishna says to Arjuna, see, I spoke about Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Jnana, everything. Sarvadharman paritejya. Paritejya means give up. Forget about all of that. I just told you for your knowledge. Mam ekam sharanam raja. Mam means me. Ekam means only me. Like eka. Okay. Mam ekam sharanam. Sharanam means surrender unto me. Now, if we surrender to Krishna, naturally the question comes, what will I get if I surrender to you? Then Krishna answers. He tells to Arjuna, Mam ekam sharanam raja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. If you surrender unto me, aham tvam. Aham means me, tvam, yours. Sarva papebhyo ma suchaha. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma suchaha. If you surrender to me, I will deliver you. I will take away all your sins. Ma suchaha means do not fear. That's what Krishna is giving assurance, not only to Arjuna, but to anyone and everyone who comes to take shelter of Krishna that way. Okay, so that is the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. So if next time you come across someone who says, do your duty, don't worry about the result. That's not the conclusion of Gita. In fact, that's not even full verse of Gita. There's more to that instruction, and there is more deeper meaning to that instruction. Why is Krishna saying, don't be attached to your results? Because Krishna knows we can't handle the results, which 99% of the time will be negative. So for our benefit, Krishna is saying, don't worry about the result. For our benefit, Krishna is actually saying, don't think you are the cause, because 99% of the times we screw up things in life. Krishna is saying, don't worry, you are not the cause. And then Krishna says, just to do your duty, whatever that comes, accept that you are not the only cause. There are other factors also. Now, why are some other factors working in some people's favor? You may say, Prabhu, you say all this, it's fine, but we still see people who are very successful in life. And no matter how much I actually try, I'm still not very successful. Now, what determines some people are more successful and some people are less? We can discuss about it later. Thank you very much. We'll conclude here and we'll see you next week. I think next week Madha Gopal Prabhu should be here, but I'll meet you some other time. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Alice Springs Yatra ki jai. Hare Krishna.